it's me, Hoshino-nya. Alright, we're back at it again. Our visual novel reading Sunday. Sundays are so relaxing. Scooch over. I just really like it, having just sitting down, like, reading a little book on Sundays. Had my breakfast, I had a coffee and some mandolins, feeling hella fancy. And I got some water with me. I wish there was some kind of, like, voiceover in this game, but, you know, I'm gonna try and still read and try and do some voices, I guess, so I at least have some way to differentiate when somebody else is talking. I'm starting to figure out how to determine who's talking with. Oops, wrong button. Hold up. We just need to continue. We don't exit. Almost started over. Oh, you know, shit happens. Continue. Loads. We just finished chapter 1. Hopefully today we finish chapter 2. Right. That's still creepy as shit, that music. We didn't get any new tips, so we're just gonna continue. We already read those 2 last time. It was just kind of explaining why the class was so small and why everyone has a different uniform. Okay. I took it a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. Today was the day Rena and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa. Oh my god, casual outfits! Hey, Rena doesn't have her little wristband thingy, just like she does in the anime. Oh, maybe they thought this was too plain? I don't know, question mark. Anyway, I love this outfit. Oh my god, I love Rena. Okay. Rena and Mion were already waiting at the meeting place. Kei-chan, you're late. Sorry. The show I was watching last night was really interesting, so blame that. Oh, so that's your excuse for being so late and keeping 2 girls waiting. Mi-chan, you just got here yourself. Last night's episode of A Day in the Life of was interesting, wasn't it? She was just as guilty as I was. Rena was carrying a pretty heavy-looking handbag. What is that? Mion answered my unspoken question with a wink. That's right, Rena really did make a picnic. Kei-chan, after you left, Rena pulled out all the stops. It's not like I forced her to do it. It's nothing, so don't worry about it, okay? She's been like this ever since last night, you know. Can you take responsibility for this? Alright. I mean, I'm a man after all. I'll take responsibility. Huh? Responsibility? For what? For what? As we both turned around to look at Rena, our gazes drifted downwards to the massive handbag she was carrying. It didn't seem logically feasible that it would be entirely filled with lunchboxes. Except this was Rena we were talking about here. About 2 kilos, I guess? When Rena was picking it up, I could see she was struggling a bit. I say 5. You're exaggerating. Keiichi-kun's a boy after all. I thought it would probably eat a lot, so I made a lot, okay? Let's get going. Heave ho! Just from the way she was lifting it up, I couldn't believe that the only things in there were lunchboxes. Corrections, I say 5 kilos too. I'll help out, but all of it needs to be eaten. Won't forgive you if you make Rena sad, got it? The only thing I could do in that moment was exercise a bit to make myself hungrier. Having finished with the pleasantries, we began our leisurely stroll. A carefree walk bathed in the gentle morning sunlight. I couldn't have imagined something so wholesome existed during this time of day in the city. These were boonies, after all. No solemnly desk jockeys trudging to work on the weekends out here. It really was a nice place, peaceful and quiet. Oh, I just noticed the music may be loud. Just turn that down a wee bit. Okay. As sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just by walking around. Ah, good day. Day. Oh, you would be my Barakun, I believe. My two companies exchanged greetings with everybody we ran across. All of these passerbys even knew my name. When had it become so this famous? We passed through people, and when all three of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid. It's a bit sad to say. Everyone knows everyone since there are so few people here in Hinamizawa. So that means when an unfamiliar face walks by, they automatically assume that's my Bara fella who just moved here. Yeah, that's how it works. It was a process of elimination you could only pull off in a place like this, but quite effective. From now on, it'd better make sure and maintain a good reputation. The day I discovered accidentally gawking at a dirty magazine in the bookstore, I didn't expect all the villagers labeling me by a lech the next day. Hinamizawa is not to be trifled with. That's not the end of this nightmare. Of course I know them. The first person we met at the old man Takezao from Makawa bike shop. His hobbies are bonsai and playing the... Next we met the grocer's second son, Daisuke-kun. His hobby is sharpshooting, and he hopes to be an ace sniper in the future. And the person we just met is Mio-san, the nurse from the clinic. Her hobbies are birdwatching and photography. You know the names of everyone we passed by, and even their profiles? Seeing my surprise, Mion and Rena exchanged looks and burst into laughter. Well, yeah. We're not like the city, where people hardly know their neighbors. Then let's try it out. You there, who am I? You're Keiichi Maibara. You say some mean things, but you're actually kind and a shy person. It's been 3 weeks since you transferred here. Your hobby is taking after your naps. Lately, you switched over to wearing boxers, didn't you? Okay, that's enough. But boxers? Enough of that! Apparently there's absolutely nothing that you can't keep hidden here. Hinamizawa is not the place to be trifled with. This feels more like you guys are showing me off rather than showing me around. That's right. We're parading you around like this after all. Don't you all think so too? That Kei-chan is fitting right here in Hinamizawa? Population in Hinamizawa is shrinking, so the villagers welcome anybody who's new. I thought about brushing it off with something to the effect of, "You're kidding me," but I held back. Had I ever greeted someone who just moved into the city like this before? Thinking about that made me believe that what they said wasn't a joke at all. We passed another person. Of course, we were called out again the same way. Oh my, good day. It's wonderful seeing you getting along. This lady here is Fujishima-san. Good day. Oh my Barakun, how wonderful for you, having a lovely girl on each arm. How are you? Getting used to life here? Instead of regurgitating the prepared response like I have been in the city, I responded with an empathetic nod. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was. Good. As I looked back over Mion, it gave me a wink. So now then, about time we have lunch, maybe. Oh, that was Rena. Shit. Rena's brilliant smile signaled the approach of an event that both Mion and I were trying to forget. We both looked at each other. I'm a man. I'll do what I can. But it's just too much. It's fine, Kei-chan. Leave this to this old man. Mion has never seemed as reliable as she does right now. I'd expect no less from the class representative. Rena, if we're gonna eat, we might as well go somewhere with a good view. Wow, yes! Good idea, I agree. Rena nodded her head happily in response to Mion's proposal. Pressing the top of the stone stairway, a shrine drawn straight out of the imagination appeared before us. It had worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves had been swept up, giving it a tidy feeling. This is here in Furuti Shrine. It's probably the place with the best view around. This place. Be sure to remember it. On our next break, a festival will be held here. Isn't it a bit too early in the season for a festival? The Watsunagashi isn't a summer festival. Long ago, it used to be a celebration of the end of winter. I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer. Now then, spread out the lunch boxes, and there... Various colored lunch boxes were placed one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. It sure did smell delicious. It was Reina's home cooking. It went without saying that it would be delicious. But is it even possible to finish all this? Hey, Mion. It'll take more than just a good view to get this all down, you know. Good afternoon. If it wasn't Rika-chan and Satoko. Why are they here? Mion grinned over at me. I see. This was their secret plan. Power in numbers. You have my thanks, Mion. Falling up when all the pieces are placed in my specialty. We just had to come since there was such a commotion. What is the meaning of all this? Oh, that was Satoko. Shit. Take a look. It's time for lunch. Buffet style. Handmade gourmet meal made by Reina. I can see that much. Why have you laid out a trap on our property? The temple's public grounds. It's not yours. Keiichi is right. This is everyone's property. Aw, Rika-chan, you're such a good girl. Have a seat. Eat with us. After opening up a spot for Rika-chan, I promptly turned my back on Satoko. Hold on 1 second. Where's my spot? No spot for you and nothing for you to eat. Don't worry, there's some for you too. None. I'm gonna eat hers. I will not allow that, Rika! Here, chopsticks. Both Satoko and I leapt at the boxes, having it out with each other. Man, really, Kei-chan, you're really good at leading people on. Might have a talent for this. Have a plate, one for me-chan, and Rika-chan too. Reina whipped out a pair of chopsticks and paper plates. If we don't hurry, it'll all be eaten up. That's right, okay, shall we commence with this battle? Please eat a lot. There's enough for everyone. Reina said as she opened up the thermos. Just then I realized that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. It didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different. I will not allow you to have this hamburger! Using your elbow is against the rules, Satoko. Grabbing the back of my collars also— oh, sorry. Grabbing the back of my collars also against the rules. It was a tough battle. Blocking with her full momentum and an elbow of the opening moves, Satoko appeared to have the upper hand, but the difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be fatal and gave me the upper hand.
That was the last meatball.
The Toko Hojo has been bested. Now. Satoko and I ambly began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. Rika-chan patted me on the head to clear it, even though it was actually stuck in my throat. Seeing that made Rena blush and breathe heavily in excitement. It was almost like flowers were floating all around her. Mion advised Rena to refrain from saying anything that would get her locked up. This is how our meals usually go. I'd do anything in my power, just so things could stay like this. The intense battle calmed, and finally everyone reached the point where they could begin talking. Receiving tea from the thermos, I let out a small sigh. I do wonder why there are so few words in the Japanese to praise how something tastes. Isn't it because the idea of togetherness during a meal didn't begin until the modern era?
It seems that long ago people ate in silence. It must have made people preparing the food a bit sad, don't you think? It's probably because the people here were busy even when eating that they didn't have time to compliment the flavor.
That's just you.
But you know, just hearing that it's good makes me happy. That my effort was worth it, I mean.
She blushed a little as she said that.
It was delicious.
With absolutely perfect timing, Rika-chan struck Rena directly with a praise. She looked straight at her with an expression of bewitching innocence.
Oh. Ah.
After Rena uttered an unintelligible noise, a ring of smoke arose around her head with an audible poof.
Oh! Rika-chan, I'm gonna take you home. No, I mean, thank you.
It was really delicious. Rena flushed red with excitement, embracing Rika-chan and rubbing her cheek against her so hard you could almost hear it.
To reward Rika-chan for her praise. Ta-da!
These are special. 2 apple rabbits. After sticking chopsticks into them, she thrust them toward Rika-chan. After Rika-chan accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted in a bizarre way. What is it, Stogo? What's with that defiant look?
Has everyone prepared proper praise to reserve apples from Rena-san?
Don't push yourself. What kind of praise can you think up with your weak vocab?
Well then, allow me to show you.
After Satoko flashed Mion with a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice suddenly.
Hey. So, Rena-oni-chan's lunch? Satoko thought was really yummy too.
Satoko looked up at her poutedly, when talking all cutesy.
What? How was that praise? That's not even persuasion by tears, it's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it?
This is Rena Limited's special skill. She blushed and her head spun, waving around in circles. Don't fall for it, Rena!
How?
Of course, that was asking for the impossible. Rena galomped Satoko and began rubbing her cheek against her.
Cute! Satoko is so cute. Take you home, how?
Swish. Stab. Push. Satoko was also presented with apple rabbits. After stuffing them into her mouth, she looked over at Mion and me again with a defiant gaze. It took only 5 seconds for her to take Rena down. That's unfair. To think she had such a trick.
If it upsets you that much, why not reward Rena-san with some praise?
Damn it. That was a dirty trick. First of all, that wasn't even praise. Satoko, you think you've won just by that, don't you? How about I show you guys something much better than your superficial gimmicks?
That sounds great, Mion. What kind of trick is it?
Kei-chan,
is going to be the one who does it. What? Oh! Why don't I have you show me then? The writhing of an old maid. The plan of attack, she suggested, was wicked, but it was the only thing we had to beat Satoko. After sipping my tea, I started talking, very naturally and calmly. Perfectly. It really is good, isn't it? This is all freshly made, right? No. Actually, most of it, well, almost all of it was frozen stuff. Then which ones did you make fresh? Well, it's embarrassing. Do I really have to say? Must I? From the synergy of boy plus handmade lunchbox, her expression had melted into euphoria. I already know. This one, right? Rena turned in an even deeper shade of red, the words "I can't believe it" practically written on her face. How can you tell? How? That I made it. Of course Mion had told me beforehand. It's been perfect so far. After acting like that, like I was shy, I waited a beat. Next would be the finisher. It had your smell. Silence enveloped the area. Rena, face still completely red, frozen solid. With a small yelp, Satoko also blushed. Of course I did too. I'm sure you would like to try one of Rena's handmade apple rabbits or something. Even if this was all because I was completely against Satoko, I felt like I had crossed the line by a good 9 yards. Then at that moment, it was a Tupperware container filled with rabbits. Please eat some, Keiichi-kun. There's plenty for you. What? Instantly, dozens of apples were shoved into my mouth, knocking me over. Okay, should say, Keiichi-kun. Yeah. My head was forcibly laid upon her lap, even more apples shoved in my mouth. While she was squealing, one apple after another was forced into my mouth, more and more apples. How would now put them apples? Kei-chan, that was a beautiful sacrifice. How's that, Satoko? This is our complete victory, isn't it? I can't believe it! Such trickery! It doesn't bother me at all. Satoko ground her teeth, mortified. We did it. I claimed victory, and my conscience drifted slowly away from me. At that time, Reina stopped her squealing as she suddenly realized something. Oh, Rika-chan. Oh, sorry. Rika-chan, you're not eating it? Did the salt water make it too strong, maybe? Maybe? Looking over, Rika-chan had pulled a toothpick out of the apple rabbit, placed it into her cupped hands, and seemed to be at a loss for what to do. Poor Mr. Rabbit. I feel so sorry for him. I want to save him. Whee! That was the sound of blood spraying from Reina's nose. Cute! Tonight I will take you home. She shook sporadically, her head wobbling back and forth. Then coming back to her senses, she took all the apples from around me, gathered them up into a flip, and flicked them back into the plate. Now they're all just fine, okay? Here, I'll give one to you, Rika-chan, okay? Rika-chan raised up Satoko's hand like a reference after having the plate of rabbit shoved into her. She whispered, "This is our victory." What? A comeback? Hi, Thus, my sacrifice ended being in vain. It was a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly.
Later, Reina and Kei-chan. Oh, sorry. Later, Reina, Kei-chan. See you tomorrow. Thanks for today, Mion. I had a great time. See you tomorrow. Satoko and Rika-chan went home as well. We parted ways with Mion and it ended with just Reina and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home. Thanks for coming today, Kei-chan. Was it fun? Yeah, lots of fun. Almost feels like a waste to go home now. Then, well, would you mind taking a little detour, maybe? Maybe? A detour? Is it far? Uh, it's a bit of a walk, but it won't take long. Since we had been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Reina, I quietly nodded. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. A large heap of garbage spread off towards the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper. Oof, oof, oof. It's been quite a while. I wonder what's here. When you say it's been a while, you mean the business you had here was with this garbage pile? It's not garbage. To me, it's a pile of treasure. Reina had already entered a well-known cute mode of hers, so that meant there was something cute here. A new pile! I can't wait, I can't wait! She bounded up like an unstable slope. I'd expect less from a born and bred country girl. Hey, wait, I'm coming! Whoa! My city raised self was completely pitiful. It's alright, just stay right there, Keiichi-kun. I won't take long. Reina kindly declined my accompaniment. Don't fall! Watch your step. Oh, I'm fine. This is nothing at all. Literally bounding up the heap of trash, Reina disappeared over the other side. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I ended up just waiting. Without the lively Reina around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around. Wow, you got massive man boobies. Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. Typical, huh? Every photographer you know is shredded like that? Holy shit. He spied over through the camera. His body was tanned and fit, but something about him seemed unreliable, and he had a bit of an aloof air about him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case. Whoa! You surprised me. Although startled when I turned around, he was overplayed his reaction. That was my line. I'm the one who's surprised here. But my bad. I didn't mean to startle you. Are you from Hinamizawa? I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious outlook, he introduced himself without my prompting. I'm Tomitake, freelance photographer. I'll come to Hinamizawa from time to time. I didn't ask who you were. Quite rude to photograph someone. Oh, sorry. Quite rude to photograph someone without the consent, don't you think? My bad. I mainly photograph wild birds. They can't refuse, you see. So what you're saying is that I'm the same as the birds? No, well, you see, that image of a young man in the twilight was just so picturesque. I apologize for trying to take your picture without asking. That's a pretty slick. I just flew away as he buttered me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Rena would be back soon. But this older guy, Tomitaki-san, he didn't mind my cautious response and continued rambling on about himself.
Keiichi-kun, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm finished now.
Rena popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand. Oh, you have someone with you. What would she be doing over there? That's what I wanted to know. Don't know. Maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was here a long time ago. Tomitaki-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh. I responded like I would if I was talking with Rena and the others. It was quite the disturbing accident. They still haven't found one of the arms.
Keiichi-kun, sorry to keep you waiting. You were waiting a while, I guess.
I'd best leave you two lovebirds alone. Again, my apologies for startling you, Keiichi-kun. Tomitaki-san chortily suggested, and then disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me a bit off.
Keiichi-kun, are you angry? Why, I wonder.
It wasn't Reina's fault, so I decided to just brush it off. How was it? Find a treasure trove?
Oh, yes. So listen, you see, there was a Colonel Sanders doll.
A Colonel Sanders doll? Oh, that thing! Those statues that was always out in front of the fried chicken place. Those life-size dummies?
Yes, Colonel Sanders! How cute! I want to take it home!
I couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not, but, well, she seemed to want it. It's garbage, right? No one would care if you just took it home, right?
It's because it's at the base of another pile. I can't dig it up that easy. There's no lamppost over there, so it's getting dark soon.
Rena seemed quite a bit down after finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back. I'll help you out. To repay you for that delicious picnic you prepared today.
Oh, thank you!
Birds heading home to roost proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon us.
Keiichi-kun's gonna help. I can take the Colonel Sanders home.
Rena staggered along as if intoxicated by her own dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of the cheery state. Hey, Rena? Long ago, did something happen here?
Seems like they were building a dam here. I don't know the details, though. Oh.
Oh, I was just wondering if you knew about, an accident or something?
I don't know.
Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. It must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Rena quickly lightened her expression.
Actually, I didn't live here until a year ago.
Huh? You transferred here too? I was sure that...
So you see, I don't really know much from before that. Sorry.
Don't really know. Don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. Thinking about it, of course, it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite the disturbing incident. It seems there hadn't been able to find one of the arms. If it's just like Tomitake said, then I had a feeling only the Higurashi know. Ooh, new tips. Ooh, well, let's view new tips. Maibara Manor. So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich? What was this all of a sudden? Did I come to school in a limo or something? How much do you get in monthly allowance? About $10. My, that's a rather plebeian amount. His lunch is made of normal stuff. He isn't rich. What were they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get, and if I'm told that's a plebeian amount. Sorry. Rena seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling. Kei-chan, your house, you know, it's pretty big, yeah? So the architecture has people all around Hinamizawa calling it the Maibara Manor, and it kind of stands out. Maibara Manor? Well, since the house is so big and everyone is gossiping, wondering exactly how rich you are. I see. Now I get it. Well, the fame of being huge, I see how it could cause some misunderstandings. From my deduction, I wager they spent too much money building the house, and that's why you're broke now. Being broke, how very, very unfortunate. Rika-chan took pity on me and patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires, and we're not poor. We're the image of a normal average household. You can't call it normal in that huge house. There's an entranceway as all grand, the gate is large enough for a large truck to get through. That's not normal at all. They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio's in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops, and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for daily day-to-day living. He planned it out so people in cars could come in and see the gallery once he opens up the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is one for the studio, and is normally sealed off. The entranceway for the Maibara family actually is very plain and a very simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside. I'd really like the chance to explore Kei-chan's house. Claiming not to be rich, but having a home like that? What could be hidden in there? Maybe there's something cute hidden home. They probably have no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms. If there are carpeted rooms, I'd love to try rolling around on the floor. Wow, that'd be so great, I want to roll around too! Seems like their imaginations are just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all over. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around the studio. The cry of the Higurashis cascaded as the sky toured over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. Damn sight. Here we go. From June 1979 edition. The Shishibone City, Okinomiya Police Station. June. Late at night. Suspects, redacted, were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, redacted, has been added to the wanted list nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the redacted at 9 p.m., where they were suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer, redacted, as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. At 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. Redacted. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested at the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute, during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is still ongoing. That's cool. I wonder if, because I know in the anime, Keiichi, like, finds this in the junkyard when he's with Rena, so I wonder if that's gonna happen next. This is neat, though. They never touch on that in the anime. That was, like, yeah. I was like, oh yeah, shit. He does have a fucking huge house, doesn't he? So are they all listed together? Okay, they are. Cute. Let's save game. Save here. Oh, that was the end of chapter 2. Okay. Good shit. I guess we'll end it there. We usually end at the end of the chapter anyway. So yeah. A good little morning read for us. I guess that's just how it goes in these visual novels. The first chapter is super duper long, and then it just kind of is a little shorter. Well, that's nice. At least we got our first, like, little, just a crumb of the Higurashi that I love. The, hey, was there a dead body? What do you mean? What dead body? Shut up. I love it. But yeah. Yes, that's it. We'll be streaming again tomorrow, Monday. That'll be at 6:30 p.m. as usual. I haven't fully decided. I think we're just going to be doing an art stream, maybe. So yeah. My Twitter is in the description. That's where I post streaming schedule, finished arts, all that good stuff. Yeah. Hope you have a good day, morning, evening, night, whatever it is for you. It was me, Hoshinonya. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.